Hello and welcome to my channel. Okay, look, I'm nervous. This is my first YouTube video and I just really wanted to be perfect. So please don't read me. We're gonna go through this together and it's gonna be fabulous. Anywho, thank you for coming to my channel. You could have been anywhere, but of course you're here with me, so it's greatly appreciated. This is gonna be like my introductory video. I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit about me, who I am, what I stand for, where I come from, and I'm gonna also give you guys a light, cute, brief summary of my coming out story, that you guys learn something from it, whether you are trans or not, or may have, ooh, okay, or, or may have just a family member who is a part of the LGBT community and may be struggling with identity. I hope that made sense because it sounded like, anyway. So, my name is Amiyah Johns. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's see. I'm Haitian American mix, mainly Haitian, and I realized that there was something different about me. Ooh, a very young age. I might have been in elementary school, honestly. And I didn't think that it was anything wrong. I just knew that I thought boys were cute, and I was attracted to them. Still am. Nothing's changed. But anyway, I've always just been a flamboyant child ever since I can remember. Any of my friends, family, siblings, they will all tell you I just kind of did my own thing and went my own way. I didn't really do what normal little boys did, I guess. I was the type of child that loved to stay in the house, listen to music. I was obsessed with my older cousins and how they navigated through life being teenage girls. Like, I just always envisioned me being a teen girl. So, like, for instance, like my cousin would be on the phone with different guys. I would just love to be around her to hear the conversation and watch her get dressed and stuff. Like, I just knew that those are things that I wanted to do. And it's so funny that now that I look back on it, I'm like, wow, yeah, I was really different. But anywho, let's fast forward to middle school. So at that point, let's say 6th grade, it was just getting to a point to where I honestly could not contain the individual that was growing inside of me. No matter what, no matter how I tried to suppress it, she was gonna come out eventually. And it was just hard for me to try to be masculine or to play that role so that I could blend in or not have family members or peers, classmates, whatever, raise an eyebrow at me. And let's see, middle school was just that time where, you know, you're starting to come into your own and you're starting to change mentally, physically. You're starting to recognize boys and girls and, you know, what's different and what's not. And just all these different things were going on in my mind. And children took a notice to that, and they definitely could tell just by the way I dressed, my mannerisms, my clothes were a little bit fitted, which I just felt comfortable. But one thing about it, kids in middle school can smell when you're different. And when they see that, they go into a frenzy and they attack. So I dealt with a lot of bullying in middle school, whether it was name calling, fighting. Well, not necessarily. I feel like a fight would have to be two people going back and forth. So it was more so me just getting beat up. But one incident was just a group of boys who would always terrorize people walking home from school. And it just so happened that I was walking past that group. And I still remember his name and everything, honestly, from my old neighborhood, but I won't say it. He made a comment about me, and me being the girl that I am, I made a comment back. And, the whole crowd laughed, and I walked on. I was like, I'm going to go home, whatever. And I honestly thought that, me saying something about him was just going to, shut it down. And he ended up punching me from behind. Like, he reached over and punched me in the nose. My nose was bleeding. I ran home. Didn't tell my mom about it because I didn't want her to question, well, why are these children, want to fight you? Like, why is it? I was just petrified that my mom would be upset about me being, at the time, what I thought myself to be as gay. So, I confided in one faculty member, and she would let me come work with her in the attendance office the last 30 minutes of school, and she would let me leave the school campus 5 minutes early. This is in middle school. So she would let me leave the school 5 minutes early just so I could get a head start away from those kids. Like, I couldn't. But at the end of the day, like, I knew that there was nothing wrong with me. So it was something wrong with those kids and the way their parents raised them. And I just had to deal for whatever reasons. So fast forward a little bit more. We go to ninth grade. And this is where the coming out came about. As a parent, I feel like you kind of know about your child, and you notice certain things about them, and you know what's different or what's to come. And I feel like my mom knew, but I feel like a part of her was praying that it was just a phase and, whatever. She never really spoke on it, but everybody knew that I was feminine, flamboyant. I was mean. So, I don't know if you guys can remember, but at this time, they used to have Yahoo chat rooms. And let me stop combing his hair. Anywho, I met this guy through the chat group. His name was Sheldon. He was from the Caribbean. From what I can remember, he was light-skinned, nice eyes, low brush cut. He was real cute. So at the time, I was 14 and a half. He was, I think, he was 18, but he would have been 19 at the end of the school year. However, me being the girl that I was, I lied and told him that I was 16 going on 17, which in actuality, I was only 14. Do not do that. That was me being grown out. Looking back, that was not cool. I had no business being on Yahoo Chat, and I had no business talking to a boy who was 18. So, back to the story. We would just always just message each other. We never did anything physical or anything like that. I might have skipped school with him once or twice. We went to a movie and, just dumb teen stuff. So, this is how I got worked. This is how my mama worked me. So, my mom's birthday is on Christmas. And every Christmas, we always open our gifts, whatever. And then we go to my grandma's house, and most of my family would meet there, whatever like that. And I called him. Because our rule was, don't call my phone. I'll call you. Because if a boy would have called my phone, my mama would have been trying to figure out why. And I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone then, so it was a house phone. Only people who really got calls would either be me or my sister, and it was always girls. So I thought that I could tweak it and work it to my advantage. Me being 14, thinking I was grown, whatever. I called him. He didn't answer his phone. And I was like, whatever. I wanted to just tell him Merry Christmas. We're going to be gone all day anyway. We're around family. So, whatever. I shit you not. I hung up with the phone, walking back out towards the living room. Everybody's getting ready because we were getting ready to go. And then the phone rang. And a piece of me was like, he wouldn't call back. But I knew that he had called the house phone. And my mom went and answered the phone, and it was just quiet. So I'm like, oh my gosh, my hand's sweating. I'm like, Lord, I'm about to get killed. And still to this day, like, I'm a grown woman, I'm still scared of my mom. So, what happened? She screamed my name. And the way she screamed it, I knew, like, I'm about to die. She's gonna kill me. I knew it. My hands were sweating. I'm getting hot right now thinking about it because that's how scared I was. So, she called me again. I walked into her room. Her and her boyfriend at the time were in the room. She had already been talking to the guy Sheldon on the phone, and she asked him, "How does he know me?" I don't think he went into details, but he was like, we're friends. And then she went to asking him how old was he because he sounded like a grown man, and she was asking me like, why do you have a man calling him for you? What type of boyfriends you got that call here? And I was like, I don't know. Somebody's playing a joke on me. I don't I don't know who that is. Somebody's playing a prank. And my mom knew I was lying. I don't want to say the stuff that she was saying because she was going off. However, I kept lying. And she told him, don't ever call the house phone again. She told him that I was 14 after she asked how old he was. So he was evil when he found out that I was 14 and I lied to him. She told him if he calls the house again that she was going to call the police on him. And I remember her hanging up the house phone. And she gave me a look. And I really thought that I was going to get a beat down on Christmas. Like, I thought all the gifts were gonna get retracted. I thought I was gonna get knocked probably through her room wall, going through her room wall, maybe going through the other wall, going through the patio wall, going through the den. Like, I thought I was gonna get knocked through a bunch of like I thought I was gonna go through all of that. So, I took a few steps back. My hands are sweating. And she was like, is there something you need to tell me? And I was just like, Lord, like crying, hoping that she would be sympathetic towards me. And she wasn't. And you got to keep in mind, I'm the oldest of 5. So with me being grown now, I look back at it and I know that it was hard on my mom because it's like I have my oldest child who feels this type of way. I don't know any information about it. I don't really know how to help my child. I also don't want this to influence my other children. This is just me thinking from a mother's perspective now that I'm grown and, I'm more wiser. And I just know that it was hard for her. So she asked was I gay, and I was like, yeah, I like boys. Boys like me. I really don't know why. And like, I really didn't know how to explain it. But we got through that hurdle. And when I tell you, I got some of the best sleep that I've ever had in my life. Like going to bed with that off my mind, knowing that it was done, it was out there. You could do whatever you want with it. It's no secret. Like, I felt relieved. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, like, how relieved I was to just have that behind me. We ended up going to my grandma's house. Of course, if you come from an African-American background or Caribbean background, Haitian, Jamaican, whatever, your parents talk a lot. And my mom told everybody. She told my uncle, my grandma, aunties. She just was running at everybody. Of course, my grandma felt some type of way. She's deep into her religion. Me coming out saying that I was gay at the time was a huge culture shock. Well, at least what I thought it was. Because once, I told him about me wanting to be a woman, that was just a whole nother thing. So she was just like, you being like this makes me unhappy. It hurts me. And I struggled with that a lot all through my teens because I love my grandma dearly and my mom and everyone else. And I was just like, I don't get how me coming to terms with who I am as a person, how is that hurting other people? And in the meantime, if I'm trying to live up to what y'all want me to be, I'm hurting on the inside. And I had to come to a conclusion that, it's either y'all with it or y'all not. So moving forward, I kind of held it together up until my senior year. I knew that I was going to go off to college, and I already had made the plan that I was going to change my name, do my own thing. If nobody doesn't like it, whatever, I ain't coming back home, you know, whatever. Graduated high school, got rid of all of my metrosexual clothing. I weaved done for the first time. Went off to Tallahassee, and I just had the time of my life. I came to terms with who I was or wanted to be as a woman. I knew that that girl was somewhere inside of me, but I always felt that, you know, if I say that I'm gay, you know, this will be enough. If I mention that I feel like I'm a woman or I want to be a girl, that's just gonna be even 10 times worse. So it was always in the back of my mind, but I kind of just, you know, pushed it aside until I got to a point where I knew that I didn't have to depend on my mom or anybody else. I was taking care of myself, and I'm gonna be whoever I want to be. If I want to be a blue elephant, that's what I'm gonna be, because I pay my own bills and I take care of myself. Went off to college, met older trans women who helped and guided me along the way. I had met a gentleman in Tallahassee who became my gay mom. He did drag. Well, he does drag. Taught me everything that I know, how to do my makeup, how to dress, just certain things. And every other trans person that I would come into contact with when I was younger, I would just pull something from them. And of course, that helped, you know. I mean, look at me. Okay, let me stop. But yeah, just going off to school and being able to mentally grasp what was going on with me, and to be able to handle all of that on my own and not have the influence of my family or anybody making me feel bad about who I was, or you know, the person or way that I felt on the inside, made a hell of a difference. And I remember when I came back home for the first time, this is around Christmas again, they had a surprise birthday dinner for my mom, and a lot of my family hadn't seen me in years. So I came home, and baby, mouths dropped. Everybody was just looking around, looking crazy, and like I said, it was a big culture shock for my family, but I think for them, after seeing me in person and knowing that I was safe, I'm okay. I look nice. You know, I wasn't out here looking a mess. I think it kind of eased everybody just a little bit. But that's just like a brief summary of my coming out story, and just a little introduction about who I am. I really hope that you guys continue to tune in. I have some really great content that will be coming your way. I have tips for all the girls. I just wanted to have a page basically that just caters to everybody, but mainly to trans women, especially like girls coming up. I wanted to just be the person that I needed when I was younger. I wish I had somebody to give me advice about just transitioning and interacting with society and dating and just a whole slew of things. So you'll be getting all of that. Just make sure that you subscribe. I'm always open to you guys commenting, because I want to know what you thought. I want to know what you want to know. If you have any questions, you may have relatives, or it may be you who may be transitioning, or whatever the case, may have some type of thoughts. Hit me up and I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. Don't forget to hit like, and don't read me too bad, because this is my first YouTube video and I was so freaking nervous. But now, I mean, I feel fine. Bye.